Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're working in community services, social services, healthcare or counseling, today's video is for you. Because in today's video, we're going to talk about vicarious trauma. We will discuss what this is, what are the signs of this trauma, how it can impact you and what you can do to prevent it. So let's start. So what is vicarious trauma? Vicarious trauma is the trauma experienced by people who are working in the sector to help those who go through trauma. Vicarious trauma happens when a person starts absorbing the emotional and psychological impact of the trauma that others are experiencing. So think of those community workers who are dealing with a lot of people who go through severe challenges such as loss, natural calamities, crisis, violence. Day in, day out, they are listening to the stories of these people and they don't even realize that it starts to take a toll on them. To give you an example, if you are working in child protection services for years and you're doing this job for many years and seeing so much abuse and neglect happening to children, after being in that role for years would make you a little suspicious towards all people who have children, and you would start seeing people with a suspicious eyes, or it can even make you overly protected towards your own children. So that could be the sign of vicarious trauma. What else could be the signs of vicarious trauma? So how do you know if you are dealing with vicarious trauma? Well, there are some common signs, and to begin with, you may start to feel a little bit more irritable. You may start feeling a little easily agitated. Some people may also experience a shift or a change in their worldview. There are also some physical signs like headaches or loss of sleep or fatigue. These are all big red flags. But you also start having less hope in humanity, or you start losing trust in people because you've been exposed to one kind of trauma or crime for a longer period of time. Now let's talk about why it's important, why it matters to understand if you are dealing with vicarious trauma. Imagine if I am myself feeling emotionally drained, would I be able to uplift the other person? Being a community worker, you'd have to work with a lot of people during crisis situations, difficult situations, and you need to use a lot of strength-based approaches, person-centered approaches, client-focused practices. You would not be able to deliver a quality service when you are yourself emotionally drained and when you're not addressing your own trauma. So it's important to be aware of the signs of vicarious trauma and understand that it may take a toll on you, and remember to take a step away when you feel like it starts to getting a little heavy on your soul. Now let's talk about how you can prevent or cope up with vicarious trauma. The first thing you can do is to set some clear boundaries between your work and your personal life. It's important to keep these two separated and take your breaks whenever you feel like you need it. It's also important that you discuss or talk to someone about what you're experiencing or what you're feeling, because sometimes what you're going through, other colleagues or your supervisor or your mentor may provide you some advice related to that. And when you're feeling that the weight of your emotions is getting too heavy, I think it's important to seek some professional help as well, because there shouldn't be any shame of asking for help when you really need it. The other thing that we need to do is to prioritize our self-care. I think doing self-care regularly really helps with dealing with vicarious trauma, and that comes in different ways. Remember that community work is an incredibly rewarding job, but it's not an easy job. It comes with its own challenges, and that's why it's important to take breaks quite often and be a little mindful and aware about our feelings. Because if you're not feeling good yourself, you cannot motivate the other person. You cannot help them come out of the crisis situation that they are in. So it's important to create that. If you find this video useful, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and please also subscribe to my channel for more such content. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching and take care.